Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you and welcome back once again in live session on the YouTube channel of Career Launcher. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible to each and every one of you, and we are good to start with this session. All right. So friends, in today's session, we are going to take on one of the one very amazing set of data interpretation that will help you not only in building up your fundamentals, but it will also help you in understanding what is the level of difficulty that is there ahead of all of you, right? Now, today's set of data interpretation is a very good set, and I would say that the level of difficulty is definitely above moderate level of difficulty, right? So in these classes we are solving I would say the sets, the questions which are not easy, but they will help you in learning something new with every session. All right, so without wasting any time, let's quickly get into this set. Now, this set is not taken from any of the previous year CAT papers, right? But it is made on the similar level of difficulty that you are going to see in your actual examinations, actual CAT exam, right? And this is a typical data interpretation set based on some of the concepts of arithmetic, right? So let's have a look at the information, the complete set of information for this set. So, the information is displayed on two slides. So what I've done is I have kept the text on one slide in a bigger format so that all of you will be able to read it very easily. And then on the second slide, you will see the same text, the same set of directions with one of the line charts that will be useful to tackle this question. All right. So let's have a look at the data first of all. So these are the set of directions that are given for solving this set. Now go through this direction set and then I'll take you to the next page wherein a diagram, a line diagram will be given to you, using which you will be able to analyze a lot of things. I'll stay on this data for 1.5 minutes. And then I'll take you to the next slide where you can find the same data, the same set of directions with the line diagram. All right, now let's read the data together. Now it says that on any day, so it happens on any day. All right, so on any day before starting the day's sales, an ice cream seller shifts all the tubs of ice cream that are there in freezer 3, if any, to freezer 4. Then he shifts all the tubs that are there in freezer 2, if any, to freezer 3. Then he shifts all the tubs that are there in freezer 1 to freezer 2. And then he puts the tub of fresh ice cream in freezer 1. So he has 4 freezers. So at the beginning of any day, what he will do is he will shift all the ice cream from freezer 3 to freezer 4, from freezer 2 to freezer 3, freezer 1 to freezer 2, and now freezer 1 is empty. Then he will put the tubs of fresh ice cream in freezer 1. Okay, so what he's doing is every day he's shifting the ice creams from one freezer to the other, right? Now each tub costs him rupees 100, and the price that he marks on each tub is rupees 200. He sells every tub from freezer 1 at a discount of 10%, that from freezer 2 at a discount of 20%, that from freezer 3 at a discount of 30%. Freezer 4 has infinite capacity and any tub from freezer 4 can neither be sold nor be removed. So I can say that freezer 4 is a dump yard. Okay, right? So as soon as any ice cream will reach in freezer 4, you cannot sell it and you cannot remove it. Right? Now, just before he starts selling ice cream on any day, he counts the number of tubs in each of the 4 freezers and draws the following line diagram to show the numbers. Okay, so I'll display the line diagram. Now, Further, it says that he draws the diagram for 8 consecutive days from day 1 to day 8. At the end of any day, when the day's sale closes, the total cost price of all the tubs left in freezer 3 is considered as loss for that day. Now, this is a very important statement to calculate the profit or loss at the end of any day. So the total cost price of all the tubs at the end of any day, the total price of all the tubs left in freezer 3 is considered as loss for that day, because after that day, all these tubs from freezer 3 will go to freezer 4 and they cannot be sold further. All right. So that means it will be considered as a loss. All right. Now, for all the students who have joined in just now, I must tell them that this is a beautiful set. This is an amazing set, and you will learn a lot of things from this set. All right. So try and read all the directions, solve it. Now, I'll take you to the next page wherein the line diagram will be shown, as well as the complete information that is there on the current slide. Okay, right? So let's move on. This is the complete set of directions. Okay, so now you can go ahead, tabulate this data, process this data, and then I'll take you to the analysis of this question, and then we'll solve the questions one by one. I'm giving you 3 to 4 minutes to work upon this data, and then I'll take you to the questions one by one. So what basically we'll have to account for? So first of all, in the table, I will write the number of tubs of the ice creams in each of these freezers on these 8 days, right? So I'll copy everything that is given in this line diagram in the table. All right, this is first thing that I will do. Now the second thing I'll do will be to calculate the number of tubs which are sold from freezer 1, 2, and 3, right? Number of tubs which are sold from freezer 1, 2, and 3. This is what I will calculate. All right. I'll also write what is the additional number of tubs that are added to freezer 4 on every day. Because in freezer 4, now we cannot remove any of the tubs. So number of tubs in freezer 4 will keep on increasing. Okay. And then I'll also find out how many tubs from freezer 3 are left that will go to the freezer 4. All right. So these are the things that I should be accounting for. So I'm giving you a few more minutes. I want every one of you to read this data to understand the data before I take you to the analysis of this data. Okay, now let's discuss something about this data once again. So at the beginning of any day, what this person is doing. Now this person will shift all the tubs from freezer 3 to freezer 4. So now the freezer 3 is empty. So he will shift all the tubs from freezer 2 to freezer 3. Now the freezer 2 is empty. Then he will shift all the tubs from freezer 1 to freezer 2. Now freezer 1 is empty. And then he will buy some more tubs, or he will put the fresh ice cream tubs in freezer 1. Okay, this is the first 3 lines. The cost price of every tub is 100 and the mark price is 200. Okay, freezer 1, every tub is sold at a discount of 10%. Freezer 2, discount of 20%. Freezer 3, discount of 30%. Nothing can be sold from freezer 4. Okay, so freezer 4 has infinite capacity, and any tub which reaches freezer 4 can neither be sold nor be removed. All right. Now, before he starts selling the ice cream, he counts the number of tubs in each of the 4 freezers, and he has drawn this line diagram. All right. Okay. Now he draws the diagram for 8 consecutive days. Also, it is given that at the end of any day, the total cost price of all the tubs left in freezer 3, which will be shifted to freezer 4 on the next day, which cannot be sold, will be considered as loss for that particular day. All right. Okay. Now, all of us, let's tabulate this data. So I'll first of all use this line diagram and an empty table to fill the values in this table. Okay, right? So first of all, freezer 1, day number 1, there are 100 ice creams. So the values of freezer 1 are given with a blue colored line. Okay, so 100, 110, 120, 130, 100, 140, 120, and 110. Now, what are these values of freezer 1 gives us? Okay, so what are these values? These are the number of tubs that are put in freezer 1 at the beginning of the day. So these are the tubs of the fresh ice cream, right? The cost of each of these tubs is 100 rupees, and the mark price of each of these tubs is 200 rupees. All right. So this is the fresh ice cream that is kept in freezer 1 at the end of every day. So that means, at the beginning of every day. So at the beginning of day number 4, he will put 130 tubs of fresh ice creams. All right. Let's now insert the data for freezer number 2. Now, freezer number 2, which is with red colored line. So day 1, no tub is there. Then 50, 40, 60, 80, then 40, 60, and 40. So these are the number of tubs which are shifted from freezer 1 to freezer 2 at the beginning of every day. Okay, right? Now, on day 1, the number of tubs in freezer 1 was 100. And at the beginning of day 2, 50 tubs are shifted to freezer number 2. Okay, so can I say that on day number 1, 100 minus 50, that is 50 tubs must be sold from freezer number 1, right? So there were 100 tubs at the beginning of the day, and on the next day, 50 tubs from freezer 1 will go to freezer 2, right? In freezer 2, we don't have any fresh ice cream tubs, right? So everything that comes in freezer 2 will be from freezer number 1, will be the leftover number of tubs in freezer number 1 at the end of any day. So on first day, there were 100 tubs in freezer 1, right? And on the second day, there are 50 tubs in freezer 2. So I can say that 50 tubs are shifted from freezer 1 to freezer 2. So number of tubs sold on the first day from freezer 1 will be 100 minus 50, that is 50. So likewise, I can write the number of tubs sold from freezer 1 on every day. Second day, it will be 110 minus 40. Number of days at the beginning in freezer 1, number of tubs at the beginning of the day in freezer 1, and number of tubs at the beginning of day 3 in freezer 2. In dono ka difference. So 70 tubs are sold from freezer 1, then 120 minus 60, 60 tubs are sold, 130 minus 80, 50 tubs are sold, 100 minus 40, 60, 140 minus 60, 80, 210 minus 40, 80. So these are the number of tubs which are sold on each day from freezer 1. Okay, done? Clear? Now let's move on and write the number of tubs in freezer 3 on every day. Okay, at the beginning of the day. So I'll use the line diagram again. So freezer 3, day 1 it is 0, day 2 it is 0. Okay, day 3, 20, then day 4, 20, then 40, 50, 10, and 30. Right? Now, using the numbers of freezer 2 and freezer 3 in the similar manner, we'll calculate the number of tubs which are sold from freezer 2 on every day. All right. So, if I look at day 1, none of the tubs from freezer 2 will be sold. Okay, it will be 0. Then on day 2, freezer 2 had 50 and freezer 3 on day 3 had 20, right? So the difference of these two numbers, it will be 30. So 30 tubs from freezer 2 will be sold. 40 minus 20, that is 20, again 20, then 30, 30, and 30. Calculate these differences in the similar manner and you will get the number of tubs which are sold from freezer 2 on every day. All right, clear? So these are the numbers for freezer 2, the number of tubs which are sold, right? Now I'll go back again to the graph, the line diagram, and we'll write the number of tubs in freezer 4 at the beginning of every day. Now freezer 4, we are adding the tubs, all right? So freezer 4, first day 0 tubs, second day 0 tubs, third day 0 tubs. Now fourth day there are 10, then 15, then 25, then 45, and then 55 tubs, right? But these are the total cumulative number of tubs that are there in freezer number 4, because in freezer number 4, whenever a tub reaches, it cannot be sold and it cannot be removed. Okay, so I can say that day 4, 10 new tubs have entered freezer number 4. Now these 10 tubs will always be present. So the next day, day 5, when the total number of tubs is 15, so I can say that 5 new tubs have arrived freezer number 4. Then day 6, 25 minus 15, that is 10 new tubs, then 20 new tubs, and then 10 new tubs. These are the number of tubs that have arrived on every day in freezer number 4 from freezer number 3. All right. Am I clear to all of you? So now let's again find out what is the number of tubs sold from freezer number 3 on every day. So 0 on day 1, 0 on day 2. Then on day 3, it will be 20 minus 10. That is 10 tubs. On day 4, it will be 20 minus 5. It will be 15 tubs that will be sold from F3. Then day 5, it will be 40 minus 10. That is 30. All right. Clear? Then 50 minus 20, 30. And then 10 minus 10, that is 0 number of tubs sold from F3 on day number 7. Day number 8, data, we cannot find out anything because we don't know anything about day 9. So we'll restrict ourselves as far as selling of these tubs up till day number 7. Clear? Now finally, I'll write the number of tubs which are left in F3 at the end of every day. So 0, 0, and number of tubs left in F3. 20 में से 10 चले गए, so it will be 10, right? So these are the number of tubs that have gone to freezer number 4 the next day, will be same as the number of tubs left in F3 at the end of the previous day. Okay, so it will be 5, 10, 20, and 10. And this is our loss. This is the loss that was given as the last statement. All right. So now I have completed the table. So this is what we require for this question. Now let's look at each and every question one by one. So we have finalized the table, right? So this is the final table that we have. And now let's check each and every question one by one. Okay? All right. So question number one, I'll give you 1 minute for every question and then we'll start with the discussion for that particular question. So question number one on your screen. So the table is given, the final table is given, and some extra data that might be required, which was given in the directions. I've also copied it at the bottom of the table. Okay. So question is, what was the total sales of the ice cream on day 5? The total sales. What was the total sales of the ice cream seller on day number 5? The total sales of ice cream on day number 5. Total sales. All right, Priyansh, very good. Okay, let's check it out, shall we? Now, day number 5, the ice creams will be sold from freezer 1. Number of ice creams 60. So 60 from freezer 1, 30 from freezer 2, and 30 from freezer 3. Right? Now, the mark price of the ice cream is 200 rupees, and the discount of 10% is given on every tub which is sold from freezer 1. So 200 rupees पे 10% का discount अगर मैं देता हूँ, if I'll offer a discount of 10% on 200, then the selling price will be 180. So every tub from freezer 1 will be sold at a price of 180. From freezer 2, the discount will be 20%, so the selling price will be 160. Freezer 3, discount will be 30%, so the selling price will be 140. Right? So freezer 1, the total sales will be 180 multiplied by 60, right? So it is 10800. Then from freezer 2, it will be 160, which is the selling price, multiplied by 30, that is 4800. And from freezer 3, it is 140 multiplied by 30, that is 4200. So 9,800, 19,800. The sum of these three numbers will be the final answer. So 19,800, Priyansh, absolutely correct answer you have given. So the total sales of the ice cream seller on day number 5 will be 19,800. Done. So we have started with like by far very easy questions since you already have the table. So that is why you are not having any difficulty in answering this question. But let's move on to the next questions. Let's see what do we have ahead. So question number 2 on your screen. On which day from day 1 to day 7 was his overall profit percentage maximum? Now we'll have to calculate the profit percentage. On which day from day 1 to day 7 was his overall profit percentage the maximum? Now we have options day 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there is no need to work out on day 1, 2, 3. Just calculate the profit percentage for day 4, 5, 6, and 7 and then mark your answer. Yes, people, any answer for this? Now we'll have to calculate the day-wise profit percentage. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll calculate day-wise sales and then day-wise cost. And then upon that, I'll calculate the net profit percentage for that particular day. Okay. Now day 4, if I talk about day number 4, let's calculate the selling price, the revenue. Okay. Now, day number 4, from freezer 1, he sold 50. From freezer 2, he sold 20. And from freezer 3, he sold 15 ice cream tubs. Okay. So, the revenue, total revenue that will be collected will be 50 multiplied by 180 plus 20 multiplied by 160 plus 15 multiplied by 140, right? That will be the total revenue. Okay. Now this value is 18 into 5, 9,000 plus 3200 plus 2100. So that is 9 and 3, 12, 12 and 13, 14, 14,300. Now 14,300 is the revenue. What is the cost incurred on day number 4? Now a total of 130 fresh ice cream tubs have been kept in F1 at the beginning of day 4. Okay, so his cost incurred on day number 4 will be 130 multiplied by 100, that is 13,000. Okay, now 13,000 is the cost and 14,300 is the revenue. So I can say that profit percentage is profit, which is 1300 divided by 13,000 multiplied by 100, and the profit percentage is only 10% for day number 4. All right. Now, likewise, I'll be calculating the profit for each of these days. So day number 5, day number 6, and day number 7. Okay. Now, people, just have a small observation. On day number 4, he has kept 130 fresh tubs and he's able to sell only 85 of them, right? On day number 6, he has kept 140 tubs and he has sold all of them, right? All 140, but at different discounts, at different selling prices. On day number 7, he has kept 120 tubs and he is able to sell only 110 tubs, right? But look at day number 5, he has kept 100 new tubs and he has sold 120 tubs out of that. So it will give you an estimate that probably it may happen that on day number 5, he will have a maximum profit percentage. Okay, right? So this can also give you the idea of the answer, but still will calculate. Now selling price on day number 5 will be 60 into 180 plus 30 into 160 plus 30 into 140, and I'll subtract the cost price. Cost price will be of 100 tubs, that will be 10,000. Okay, so let's calculate the total revenue. I'll subtract the total cost from that and will obtain the profit. So we have already calculated that. So this comes out to be 9,800. So the total profit is 9,800 over the cost of 10,000. So I can see that there is a 98% profit on day number 5. 98% profit on day 5 as compared to only 10% profit on day number 4. Okay. Now likewise we'll work on day 6 and day 7, right? Day 6 and day 7. And after the calculations, you will be able to find out that the profit percentage on day number 5 is the maximum profit percentage among these 4 days. Okay. So the answer for this question will be day number 5. All right. Great. Now let's move on and look at question number 3. Now question number 3 is a good question. So be careful with the language that is used. It's a simple one, but be careful with the language. Now, while buying ice cream tubs, if customers give preference to a tub with higher discount, so whenever I am going, I'll give preference to the tub at which I'm getting the highest discount. That means I'll first of all buy the ice creams from freezer number 3. Then once all the ice creams are finished from freezer 3, now the customers will start buying from freezer 2, and finally they will go to freezer 1. Okay, right? And each customer buys exactly 5 tubs. Then on day 6, they're talking about day number 6. Okay, then on day 6, how many customers had already bought the ice cream from the ice cream seller before the first tub from freezer 1 was sold on that day? So before the customer will start buying from freezer 1, they will buy from freezer 3 and then freezer 2. So that means a total of 30 plus 30, 60 ice creams tub have been sold before the first tub from freezer 1 was sold on that day. Now each customer buys 5 tubs. So divided by 5, that means 12 customers. 12 customers have already bought the ice cream from the ice cream seller before the first tub from freezer 1 was sold on that day, right? So before the start of selling from freezer 1, all the ice creams from freezer 3 and freezer 2 will be sold. And since every customer buys exactly 5 tubs, so these 60 tubs will be purchased by 12 customers. So 12 customers, 12 will be the answer of this question. All right, clear? Now let's move on and look at the last question of this set, and that is the toughest among all of these. If only 10 initial customers bargained further in such a manner that the seller had to provide customers the further successive discount of 15% to all 10 customers, then what is the loss percentage on day 1, given that each customer buy 1 tub? So we'll have to find out the overall loss percentage on day 1, right? So that means we'll have to consider all the selling of the tubs on day number 1. So as you can see on day number 1, only the tubs are sold from F1. Nothing is sold from F2, nothing is sold from F3, right? So only F1, the tubs are sold only from F1, and 50 tubs are sold. Every customer is buying 1 tub. It is given in the question. For the first 10 customers, the shopkeeper, the seller, is offering an additional discount of 15%. The further successive discount of 15% to the first 10 customers, and for the remaining customers, no further discount will be given. All right. Okay. Now, first of all, let's talk about the mark price. The mark price is 200. Now, any ice cream that is sold from freezer number 1, we have a discount of 20%, right? So, we have a discount of 10%, 20 rupees. So, the selling price of any of the tubs that is sold from freezer number 1 should be 180. But on this day, some extra discount is also offered for some selected customers. Okay, this extra discount is of 15%. Now, 15% of 180. So this extra discount will be of 27 rupees. From 180, if I'll subtract 27, the selling price comes out to be 153 rupees. Okay, right? Now, for the first 10 customers, the selling price will be 153. So this will be given to the first 10 customers because every customer buys exactly one tub and 50 tubs are sold. So there will be a total of 50 customers, right? Out of which first 10 customers will get an additional discount. So for them, selling price will be 153. And for the remaining 40 tubs or 40 customers, the selling price will be 180 rupees. Okay. So the total selling price will be 180 multiplied by 40 plus 153 multiplied by 10. All right. So 7200 plus 1530, that is 8730 is the total selling price. Now let's talk about the cost price. Now, what was the number of fresh tubs that were kept in freezer 1 on day number 1? It was 100. So the cost price will be 100 new tubs. Cost of every tub is 100. So 10,000 is the cost price. Now, cost of 10,000 and the sales of 8,170. So loss percentage will be equal to the loss, which is 1270 divided by the cost price, which is 10,000 multiplied by 100. And this value comes out to be 12.7%. All right. So 12.7% ka loss ho jayega on day 1 if a further successive discount of 15% will be given to the first 10 customers out of the total 50 customers that are coming on day number 1. All right. So people, that's all about this particular set. I hope you would have liked solving this set. This one was a good set, and this easily qualifies for any of the sets that can appear in CAT examination, right? So we shall stop here for the day, and I'll see you in the next session, which is in another 20 minutes at 1 p.m. So I'll see you at 1 p.m. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.